everyone! In this video, we will be exploring the relationship between stress and skin inflammation. So to explore this relationship, we first have to understand the mechanism of skin inflammation. So let's take a cut on a hand, for example. So with the cut, virus and bacteria could enter the bloodstream. The invaders enter the bloodstream and starts attempting to invade cells. And when the cells detect the invaders, they do two things. First, they send a signal to the immune system, and next they start dilating blood vessels in an attempt to help immune system cells such as eosinophils and neutrophils to reach the site of infection quickly. And the dilation of blood vessels is why skin inflammation has been associated with redness on the skin. So there are two types of inflammation: acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Acute inflammation is when the cause of infection has been resolved successfully. And chronic inflammation is when the cause of inflammation has not been able to be resolved, and so chronic inflammation could happen over a long period of time, and eventually inflammation could spread to other parts of the body, which is why chronic inflammation is much more dangerous than acute inflammation. There are 6 main causes of inflammation: allergens, injuries, heat, sun damage and photosensitivity, genetic reasons, and infections. However, there is one other way inflammation could happen through recent research, and that is stress. So in one study, scientists looked at the relationship between human stress and inflammation. They conducted a study with 2 groups of students. The first group of students were about to take a major exam, and the second group of students were on summer vacation. The scientists administered 3.5 mm punch biopsy wounds to each student, and then measured the amount of time it took for each student's wounds to heal. For the students in the group about to take major exams, they took an average of 3 days longer to heal compared to students who were on vacation, showing that there is a positive correlation between human stress and inflammation. A second study looked at stress and inflammation in mice. So the study was conducted by administering sound stress to mice, and they monitored the levels of inflammation through eosinophils. So eosinophils are white blood cells whose main function is to promote inflammation. Thus, the more eosinophils that is present in the bloodstream, the more inflamed the mice were. And the results the scientists gained from this was that the amount of eosinophils in mice exposed to sound stress was increased by 30% compared to the amount of eosinophils in mice that were not exposed to sound stress. Thus, this experiment showed that stress had a correlation with inflammation. Now, the correlation between inflammation and stress has been coined the term the brain-skin connection. So, the brain-skin connection is when someone is experiencing intense stress in a long-term period. The brain starts sending signals to glands, and and eventually the adrenal gland produce two hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. So cortisol and adrenaline gets released into the bloodstream, and and causes the inflammation of a variety of cells, which is how inflammation is caused. So in this presentation, you learned about the mechanism of inflammation, 6 causes of inflammation. You looked at 2 experiments conducted on stress and inflammation, and the brain-skin connection. Thank you.